Yo, what's going on, guys? Sinister Skater here, and today we're going to be discussing the Black Ops 3 campaign. We're going to give sort of like a summary, all the confusing stuff, give some theories, and, talk about Treyarch's geniusness in whole. And to do this, we have Durge, the Surge, or John joining us.
Hola.
Alright, so, we'll start out with the campaign storyline. So, one of the things that, I don't know, people are talking about a lot is that previous COD campaigns have been very linear, and it's like you do this, you do that, and then like the end makes sense. It may have a cliffhanger. The Black Ops 3 campaign started linear for the most part, but 2/3 of the way through, it took like a philosophical twist, and everything got confusing and crap. And I think one of the reasons is because of the way the whole campaign was presented. Because like the last mission, everything was just thrown at you, and you have to piece it all together.
Yeah, the last mission was just like a big mind. I don't like tripping on acid and stuff.
Yeah, and then the Demon Within mission too. When we played it, we're like, "What the hell's going on?"
It was even worse, man. That was the one with what's her name?
Hall.
Hall, yes.
That's what actually we're gonna talk about that at the end. But like after I played it more and more, it actually made sense, somewhat, kind of, for the most part.
No,
but
I'm just lost in the entire thing.
Yeah, I'll clear things up for you. You're gonna get mind blown because I have all the details. Because right now I'm taking a philosophy class, and I don't know if that's what's making me like the campaign, because I'm thinking of everything in like a weird way, and like I'm just sitting in class, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That's in the Black Ops 3 campaign. That's why this video idea actually in that class. But yeah, I don't know why I said that. But John, let's start off with you. Tell me what you think about. Did you like the campaign? And give me a little summary of what you think happened. Just little details.
Yeah, I like the campaign. I thought it was pretty good, and I wouldn't say it was better than Black Ops 2 or anything, but
yeah.
But for the summary, pretty much, like I don't even know like what like really what happened. It's just like I don't know what's real and what isn't, because I noticed in I don't know what mission it was. It was with when we could say spoilers, right?
Yeah.
When Taylor dies, that mission, that was the first time like I watched somebody else's gameplay and I didn't notice the first time. But like above, you could see an upside down city, so it's like what is real, what isn't.
Wait, what?
You can see in that mission, if you look up into the sky, there's an upside down city.
Like the Lotus Tower mission, where Hendrix killed him.
Yeah, where he kills him. Yeah,
really?
That one.
I did not know that.
Yeah, no. If you look up, it's pretty much this whole game is pretty much Inception. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
It may make sense. So, I don't. All right, I'm gonna start just listing stuff off, trying to piece things together. I'll give a little summary at the beginning, and you just chime in whenever you want to.
All right. Cool.
So, actually, like in the what's it called, the safe house, they have that whole like database of stuff.
Yes.
And I was listening to it. Yeah, I was listening to it last night, and actually, there's a whole like audio log from Taylor.
Wait, there's an audio log?
Yeah, like in the website. There's a bunch of bookmarks, and Taylor's talking about how like I think it took place in 2058, I think, and then the campaign's in 2065 or whatever. But in 2058, Hendrix was like the CEO of the Black Ops squad, which had the four of them, like Taylor, Diaz, Hall, and I always forget the last guy. M.
The black guy.
Yeah, Moretti, that's his name. Yeah, the black guy. So they were a squad, and Hendrix was the CEO of them. And it pretty much said like it was like the exact same details of the regular campaign, which made no sense, except like instead of the 54 immortals killing the people, or they framed them, like actually some dude named like Ramirez did. And instead of like trying to chase Taylor, you're chasing like Stone as the bad guy. And it seemed really weird because it was the same thing. But the big thing is, like, Rachel Kane left Taylor. They were, like, had a relationship, whatever. But at the end, before he got, like, a cybernetic enhancement and started changing stuff, she left him because she didn't like him and that stuff. And then he took part in the Black Ops program with the cybernetic enhancements. And then 5 years later, we're what we're at now.
Yeah, I read in that same database. I didn't know there were audio logs. I don't know, because I think they change every week. Like, they put in new info, but I read like the surgery that the cybernetic people go through is like, I want to say at least a 28-day thing,
Mhm.
And I don't know if it like goes with it, but in the game, I think the highest day we got was day 7.
Mhm.
And in the database, it says day 7 is like the DNI input when they first implanted in you.
Yeah. Oh,
So it
that
might
makes
be,
sense. That makes sense for
yeah,
later.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
But
That's why
then,
the second operation that was on day 7.
yeah. And then like everything
Okay.
else is like unknown. Like I think I want to say which one's the last mission?
Life.
I think that one is like unknown or some like.
Yeah, it's unknown. That makes sense though. Well, kind of. I don't get how we have like the whole TAC advisor in super. Well, I guess because we're a super soldier. But I don't know.
It's just weird. It's just a brain teaser.
We could interface. Well, I guess the whole Black Ops super soldier thing was merging man and machine, so I guess that could do it. And then the DNI was like how to get your brain. Actually, we're gonna talk about it later. So, all right, I'm gonna continue. I don't want to hang on this too long, but just a little summary of the whole campaign leading up to the last mission, because that's what we're gonna talk about a lot. You know, we got no one beginning. Here's this guy. Let's go get him, and then things progress from there. You got your player in Hendrix, then you meet the squad. We're gonna call him the squad. Taylor Diaz saw him already. And you know, Hendrix is the link because of the 2058 thing. They know each other. You know, the very first mission, you go rescue the target, you get delemmed, and then you get surgery to survive, which I'm guessing is where you get, yeah, that's where you get your cybernetic enhancement stuff.
Yes, when all that.
Because then we get your double jump, so that makes sense. Yeah, that, see, we're making sense right here. That makes more sense. And then Hendrix tags along, so he's like, oh yeah, why not? And then we see in the operating room, Taylor and Dr. Kruger, who we find out at the end of the game, who's like the mastermind behind all this, because he's like the evildoer. Oh, you think Kruger planted the DNI in Hendrix then? Because he started changing earlier?
It looked like he had gotten surgery first. I don't know if that's what you mean.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, because we're in the same facility that we end up going to at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So Hendrix must have gotten it, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he had to get it first.
Because I even think he already had the arms too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so that makes sense. Yeah. Huh. And then, yeah, where do we go? From there, you know, we have that cool tutorial mission in our head while we're knocked out. Which, no, because he said, I don't even know, I'm not even going to puzzle on it. But, you know, then we go look for the mutilators. We thought it was 54I. It was actually the squad. You know, the immortals were more of a distraction within this campaign, if you guys are confused on that. The only link between the immortals and, like, the whole campaign story, really, was Jae Jong, who was, like, one of the first DNI subjects that we'll come back to. You know, we did the same thing with Egypt, and then we come to the Demon Within mission where things get crazy, where we interface with Hall, and people start getting confused. Pretty much that whole mission was within her head. Like, you know, that 1 second interface where they get all the information, that's like the whole mission was played out in that whole time. And one of the things I wanted to note, that baby, remember we were confused about the baby?
Yeah. That whole like beginning was weird.
Yeah, I pieced it together. The baby was a representation of Corvus because in the tree that she goes and kills her. Actually, no, we'll come back to this, but the baby in the tree were actually representations of Corvus. It'll make more sense when we get into the life mission. God, and then, you know, we do some stuff. Taylor rips out his DNI. Corvus overrides Hendrix. You know, that's also important. But then we get to the life mission where everything starts to tie together. So you want to give your best summary of the life mission?
All right, so Hendrix turns pretty much. I guess you could say Corvus is controlling him. I don't know how else.
Yeah.
And we're pretty much he's going to kill Kruger, yes. And then we're trying to stop him because, you know, he has Corvus and Corvus is trying to kill everything pretty much. Mm-hmm. And along the way, we find that the station's going, what is it, subnuclear? I don't know what they put it. But pretty much whatever happened in Singapore is going to happen again there. So Kate sacrifices herself to control the Nova 6 gas.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, we pretty much kill Kendricks. And then I guess it's assumed we shoot ourselves, but I feel like it kind of doesn't show. It doesn't show that we actually shot ourselves to end Corvus.
Yep.
and then everything else is just like,
Yeah, the killing themselves thing, I want to come back to that. I don't really think we killed ourselves, because if we die, there's no way we could be back to life.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
it makes no sense.
that's why I'm thinking like maybe. Well, I feel like we replay that. You hear a bang. I don't even know because it's just.
It's more just like a flash.
I
Like
guess. Yeah. All I can think of well, we don't even do we end up when we go back into our body? Do we end up being there?
Well, we're in like a purging room. We're overriding or something. I don't know. But let's talk. So, I don't know. To make more sense, we're talking about Corvus first. So, Corvus was supposed to be an AI that merged the human mind and artificial intelligence so that it could monitor thoughts of people in order to track terrorists before like the terrorists made their attack. But there was a glitch, and Corvus emerged from the test subject's mind and then became self-existing and like a thinking software.
Self-aware.
Yeah, self-aware. And like Corvus could only exist in we'll call the mind cloud of all the DNI patients. So like he can only be in the people that had the DNI in them. Which is why in the last mission he said that Jae Jong is still alive within the mind cloud, because his body's dead but his mind's still alive, because Corvus somehow has this whole mind cloud of data that has people alive in it, which makes no sense. But with Corvus, like I said, the baby I feel like, maybe is Jae Jong or one of the test subjects. It shows the birth of Corvus. That's how we get introduced to him. And that's why it flashes right from the baby to a test subject. And then that tree, if you notice when we're fighting in the life mission, we're actually going inside the tree trunks and then blowing up the heart, which is like a more literal representation of Corvus. But you blow the tree up and then it eventually falls. And I think that's why in the Demon Within mission, Hall's like, oh, I gotta give up myself, and that's why she goes up to the tree and makes us kill her in front of it, and then she gets like absorbed into it because she's giving herself into Corvus and like dying, going to the mind cloud.
I thought we were just helping her not become one with Corvus.
Well, that's pretty much the same thing. She's like, we don't know what's going on. She's kind of trying to tell us stuff, but at the end, she's like, oh, I gotta realize something right before death, and then we fight more zombies, and then she's like, this is what I gotta do. And then she makes us kill her because she's like overridden or something like that.
No, it makes no sense. To me, I don't know. Just move on.
Let's make sense of the frozen forest.
Oh, no, man. You can't make sense of the
This
frozen
makes sense.
forest.
This makes sense. This actually makes sense. I got it down pat. So, in the life mission, again, this is like everything's in life, Corvus says that he only knew of pain and suffering when he was first made because of like that lab disaster. All the Nova 6 came in, everyone's like suffering.
Well,
And all he had was dark thoughts and was overwhelmed.
I thought it was because they weren't volunteer subjects, so they're pretty much guinea pigs, and that's kind of how he got birthed, through all their pain.
Well, yeah, that too. Because all the test subjects in the database, it says they're all like class 1 prisoners, or they're on their way to death row because they were all bad, pretty much.
Yeah.
So he had a lot of negative thoughts, and then that lab disaster like enhanced it, and he was just overwhelmed and kind of went crazy and wanted to find the frozen forest, because the whole frozen forest speech was actually Dr. Salim's like original speech that he told patients. And he's telling the patients Corvus is within their mind, and he thought it was real and would help him find peace and kind of like get rid of all this overwhelming crazy pain and suffering.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yep.
So that makes sense. That's like one purpose. I like the frozen forest has 3 purposes for me. One is to keep peace, and I also feel it's like a way to like easily control people, because it feels like you're getting brainwashed the whole mission. I feel like if the patients or whoever he's trying to take over is peaceful and doesn't have negative thoughts, that it's easier for Corvus to take him over. And then the forest is also like where your conscience lives after death, if Corvus wanted your thoughts for his personal gain, kind of like purgatory or limbo or something like that.
Yeah. I felt like he made the frozen forest as a sanctuary for everyone that he deemed was allowed to be there. Like, because we see with Kruger, he gets demolished.
Yeah, that's why, like, it's for his gain. Like, we all are personal gain. Kruger, he let him in because he wanted to know why he was made or whatever like that. And he, like, didn't really give him answers. He's like, all right, I don't need you, and then decapitated, or not decapitated,
well,
but
he did give him the answer.
Yeah, well, it's like he really didn't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, no AI wants to hear that. They're just a glitch or whatever. The Force also, like, that's one of the things for his gain. He created it, or I don't know, found it by, like, Corvus found it or something. I feel like he created it because he wanted to end the horrors of death and survive. Like, that's what his main goal was, and they said that many times throughout the life, was Corvus just wanted to live. So I feel like the Frozen Forest was his way to end death. You know, you have a mental consciousness still alive within it, and, you know, you're alive somehow.
Well, yeah, because he was connected to their thoughts, so he pretty much downloaded their consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Consciousness, yeah. And that's how they were alive, which it's kind of weird, but okay.
Yeah, and it's like, whenever the whole system's done, then everyone's gone, which makes me mind-boggled even more.
Wait, what?
Like, you know, at the end when they purge the system, that means, like, everyone's consciousness is gone.
I thought...
So they're officially dead.
I didn't think about after that, but
I didn't either, I just thought about it now.
I thought he was purging his own mind, so, like, he would get rid of just the DNI link to himself.
No, it was the whole system.
It was the whole thing?
Yeah, that's what the whole coalescence building, that's like the base.
And then that also brings up how the hell did Taylor somehow get into his mind?
Yes.
I don't...
Pretty much like the whole campaign, we're fighting like this invisible force, discover its rogue AI, and then we figure out how to kill it in our afterlife mind because, you know, he wanted to survive because he think we could survive or help him out somehow. It's just a lot to think about. A lot to think about. But there's a couple things I fully didn't get, and I still don't get, and we're gonna try and piece them together, and that's the ending.
You mean the whole game? I didn't understand.
Well, yeah, that too.
The ending when he's just like, what is he? I am Taylor or something.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah. No, I've thought about it for a lot. Like, yeah, I've thought a lot about it, and I just don't. The only way, I have a few theories, but I mean, all I can think of is that just Taylor somehow manages to slip into the player's mind and take over.
Ooh. That's what, yeah, I believe that too. But he couldn't slip into us if we weren't dead. You know, the main question is, how are we alive in the end? Because we shot ourselves, or apparently we shot ourselves.
Quote unquote, yeah.
I just got this. We were the last one with DNI in us, right?
Yep.
So, Corvus, if he wanted to be like a human and control us, we were the last person that he would be able to do.
Wait, what about Marshawn Lynch? Just kidding.
Yeah, he's gone. He's been nightmares or something. We don't even know. But, you know, we were the last person, so he wanted to keep us alive. That makes sense, right?
Yes, I feel like he could have all of a sudden taken control at the last minute.
Yeah, so like right before we shot, he just engulfed us in the frozen forest and didn't allow us to kill ourselves, so we could eventually take our body.
Yeah, that whole just
that has to be it, because that's the only reason. Otherwise, I have no clue what the heck would happen. That has to be it. That is it. That was confirmed. Confirmed right here on this channel. That's why that's why we're alive at the end.
Nah, dude. I don't confirm.
I confirm. That's it.
It's like I don't appreciate.
There's no other way.
Oh my god! Really?
That has to be it. It's confirmed.
Oh yeah.
Confirmed right here. You heard it first.
I'm not confirming anything.
I'm confirming it. I'm positive that has to be it.